today, and if you prefer, Penny, you can lay on your back and hug your knees into your chest if you would rather go that way. So we're just going to surrender into our space just to begin with. So coming into child's pose. Just coming into your space and noticing the floor beneath your body, the earth supporting you. Bring your buttocks down towards your heels and bring your forehead down towards the mat. Surrendering into the space and into the afternoon energies. Taking some nice deep breaths. Thank you for joining me today and taking the time out to support yourself and your energy and to support each other in your yoga practice. I thought we would tune into the new moon energies that are around us today. It's a new moon this afternoon, and it's coming in as a black moon, and new moons rise generally every 29.5 days at the start of each monthly lunar cycle, but the black moons are quite rare. They only happen every 32 months. So during this new moon phase, the actual moon, the lunar orb side of it, the sunlit side, will face away from our planet, and as a result, the new moon will temporarily vanish. So generally, new moons are times for fresh starts, time to contemplate new beginnings and the process of change. So looking through your life, and there might be somewhere, part of your life where something is changing. So the action is not called for at the moment. In the time of the new moon, it's all just about contemplation, just quietly nurturing the roots of your creation and thinking about where the changes might occur. The black moons are particularly powerful for change, as it signals the beginning of a new cycle that will last until the next black moon, which will be 2.5 to 3 years away. So it's really wise to tune into the energy and use that to open your heart to change. So today, as part of our yoga practice, we'll do a heart opening asana and opening our heart to the change and tuning into the new moon energy that's happening today. And we'll also do a restorative Yoga Nidra. So let's begin with an Om. So you might come to a comfortable seated position. Just taking a couple more breaths here. Softening your eyes. And we'll bring the new energy into us to support our practice with an Om. So we'll start with our hands at Anjali Mudra with a deep breath in and a long breath out. I'm going to do an Om to begin. You can join me if you wish, but you don't have to. Another deep breath in. Om. Thank you for being here today. So let's go to a heart opening butterfly position on our back. So in this position, you might have a block or a bolster, anything that you can prop just behind your back. It's coming into position, opening up through the chest with your knees apart, having your arms nice and wide. Just taking some nice deep breaths here. Taking 4 more breaths, just opening up your heart to the energy of the practice. taking 2 more breaths. And bringing your knees together and coming up into all fours. So coming up into all fours, we do a couple of cat-cows. So inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, lifting your spine up towards the ceiling. Continue on for another 4 or 5 breaths. Contemplating the opening up of your heart as you inhale and lift your chest and lift your gaze. And taking your knees a little wider and coming into child's pose, just walking your hands forward and bringing your forehead down to the mat and noticing nice stretching through the back of your legs and your lower back and your shoulders. Just taking 3 breaths here. And then coming up to a comfortable seated position. You may have a block underneath your hips and have your legs crossed, or you can have your legs out straight ahead, whatever's comfortable for you. And we're going to start off with an inhale, up, reaching up towards the ceiling, and exhale, dropping your right hand down towards the mat and stretching through the left side. And then inhale to the center. And exhale to the other side, just getting some nice movement into your body, some stretching through the sides. And then bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra, taking your legs out in front of you. And reach out to the ceiling and exhale forward. Just noticing that stretch down the back of your legs, through the lower back. And staying here for 3 more breaths. And then coming back up to a neutral position. And we'll do a little bit more heart opening. So we're going to take our hands a little bit forward and take our hips forward, lifting our chest up, lifting our gaze into an upward dog. And then tucking our toes under, spreading our hands wide and bringing the body up into your first downward dog. Walking your hands a little bit closer to your feet and pressing your heels down into the mat. Just walking them from side to side. Really nice stretch through the back of the legs, down through the hamstrings and the calves, the Achilles, and through the feet. And then slowly bringing your hands forward again, bringing your body down towards the mat and lifting the chest up into an upward dog. And exhaling back to a downward dog. Continuing on for another 4 rounds at your own pace, using your breath to initiate the movement. Some nice heart opening. And we'll do 1 more round. And then coming back to all fours. And we're going to do some alternate leg and arm lifts. So taking your right hand up off the mat and your left leg and elongating through the hand and the foot, having your toes pointing down towards the mat. And then tiger curl up, knee to elbow, inhale, back out again. Continuing on for 4 more rounds on the right hand, left leg. Really stretching out, keeping your body nice and controlled, keeping your back steady, squeezing through the buttocks. And 1 more round. And then placing the right hand and the left leg down. Opening up your hands so you've got a good grip and having your knees nice and wide underneath your hips. And we'll take it to the other side. So inhale, lifting left hand, right leg. Toes pointing down to the mat. And then tiger curl in. And then inhale as you come back up again. Let's go 4 more rounds. Exhale as you tiger curl. Inhale as you lift and lengthen. Keeping the body nice and steady. And then when you finish your rounds, coming back to central position. And this time we're going to lift up through the left leg, having toes pointing down towards the mat, and then bending the left knee and bringing the foot over to the right side of the mat, reaching back with your right hand and just giving that a nice stretch. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. Good. And release. And then going over to the other side, this time raising up your right leg, lengthening out through the foot, and then bending the knee and then taking the foot towards the left side of the mat. Steadying through the right hand and lift the left hand up, grabbing onto the right foot and really give that a nice stretch. Staying here for 3 breaths. And then release. Coming back into a downward dog. Sorry, child's pose. Staying here for a couple of breaths. And then coming back up to a downward dog, walking your feet wide, and then walking your hands up towards your feet into a forward bend. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths, just feeling a nice stretch through the back of your legs, through the lower back. Let your head fall heavy and your chest fall heavy. Noticing how your body feels, noticing your energy levels. And then we're going to bend your knees a little bit. Inhale and bring your hands all the way back up to mountain pose and hands to Anjali Mudra, and just walking your feet back together. Give your legs a little shake. From here, we're going to go into our sun salute. So coming towards the front of the mat. And we're going to do 3 rounds. So we're going to inhale, lift our gaze, lift our arms. And then exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, stepping back into a high plank. Or you can take your knees down to a low plank. Then slowly lowering your body down to the mat. Inhale, lifting the heart into an upward dog. Stretching through the front of your body, toes under, and coming up into a downward dog. Taking your gaze towards your hands and then stepping forward into a forward bend. Lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale as you draw your chest towards your legs. And inhale, come all the way back up. Nice work. So that's one round. Let's go 3 more rounds. You can go at your own pace or you can come with me. So we're going to inhale, lift and lengthen, stretching up towards the ceiling. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. And then exhale, stepping back to high plank. Slowly lowering the body down. Inhale, lifting up through the heart. And exhale, toes under into a downward dog. And then taking your gaze forward and stepping forward. Lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale as you draw your chest towards your legs. And inhale, come all the way back up. We've got 2 more rounds to go. Just going through at your own pace. You're all very familiar with this one now. And 1 more round to go. Nice work. And when you finish, coming back to Anjali Mudra, just softening your eyes and coming back to the practice and our heart opening for change. Drawing in the energies of the new moon, the black moon. From here, we're going to step back to the back of the mat, going to a warrior sequence. Left toes turned out slightly and step forward with your right leg. And we're going to inhale, lift up into warrior 1, bending that right knee over the top of the right ankle, testing chest up, gaze up, arms reaching towards the ceiling. Let's stay here for 3 more breaths. Really noticing that stretch through the left hip. And then bring our hands back behind. If you can clasp them in, and lengthening out through that front leg and bringing your chest down towards the leg into humble warrior. Spreading your toes out, feeling through the floor supporting you. It's nice strong feet. 2 more breaths here, noticing the stretch through the back of the right leg. And then releasing your hands down to the ground, bringing your right hand just in front of the right foot and bring your left hand up towards the sky. Take your gaze with the left hand into triangle pose, and we're going to stay here for 3 more breaths. Opening out through the chest, noticing that stretch through the right leg. And then bring the left hand down back to earth and take your right hand up and take your gaze with the right hand into a twisted triangle. You can drop that right hand down behind your back into a half bind. Feeling the stretch through the buttocks and glute on the right leg. And then framing your foot with the right hand and stepping forward into a forward bend. Inhale, come all the way back up. And hands back to Anjali Mudra. And then stepping back to the back of the mat. We'll go through that on the other side. So turning your right foot slightly up and stepping forward with your left foot. Inhale, bending the front knee, coming into Warrior One. Lift and lengthen through the chest and the arms. Take your gaze up towards the hands and noticing that nice stretch through the right hip flexor this time. Staying here for 3 more breaths. And then bringing your hands down past your body, lengthening out the left leg and bringing your hands behind you, clasping them into Humble Warrior. Spreading out your toes so you've got a good strong grip, good balance. Staying here for 3 more breaths. Gazing down towards your toes on your left foot. And then releasing your hands down to the mat. Left hand in front of your left foot. Take your right hand up to the ceiling and take your gaze with the right hand into triangle. Staying here for 3 more breaths. Noticing the stretch through the left hamstrings. And 1 more breath here, and then releasing the right hand to the mat and take your left hand up to the ceiling. Lengthening out through the left leg. You may need to come up a little bit on your hands in the right leg, on your right hand if you're. And then binding that left hand behind your back, opening up through the chest and noticing the stretch through the left glute, left buttock and left leg. Then releasing the left hand to the ground, stepping forward with the right leg and into a forward fold. And then inhale, come all the way back up to mountain pose. Just taking a few deep breaths here, softening your eyes and just evening out your breath again. And from here we're going to do a little bit of balancing. So stepping back towards the middle of your mat and towards the back of your mat actually. And I want you to lift up towards the sky, stretching forward and then taking your body down, walking hands forward so you're into a downward dog. Then we're going to lift the left leg and then bend the left leg across at the knee, taking the foot across to the right side. We're going to stay here for 3 breaths and noticing that stretch through the front of the left hip. And then returning that foot back to the mat. Walking your heels down towards the mat again. And then we're going to lift up through the right side, lifting the right leg up, lifting it nice and high, and then bending the knee and taking the foot across to the left side into scorpion. Staying here for a couple more breaths. And then returning that foot to the mat and coming down to on all fours. From here, we're going to release down into child's pose and just come back to our breath again. Staying here for 3 more breaths. Surrendering your forehead down towards the mat. And then from here, coming into a seated position with your legs out in front into Paschimottanasana. Coming up onto your sit bones, nice tall spine. Going to inhale, reach up, and exhale, take our hands forward, reaching forward towards your toes. If you can reach your toes, grabbing onto your toes. If not, bring your hands down to your ankles or your shins. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths, noticing the stretch through the back of your legs and your lower back. On each exhalation, just surrendering a little more into the pose. One more breath here, and then release your hands and coming back up. Inhale and lift your arms up. And we're going to go into a slight twist. So we're going to take the left hand towards the right foot. As we exhale, fold forward and take the right hand back behind us. Taking your gaze towards the right big toe. Staying here for 3 breaths. And each breath, just releasing your body a little bit more. Surrendering into the stretch. One more breath. And then inhale, bring both hands back up. And exhale, fold forward, taking your right hand to the outside of your left foot and bringing your left hand behind you. And gazing towards the left big toe for 3 breaths. And then inhale, release, coming back up. And bring your hands back to the mat, coming onto your back into Apanasana, hugging your knees to your chest, moving your body around, noticing a nice relaxing massage through your lumbar spine. And then placing your right foot on the mat and bring your left leg in front of your right knee. And we're going to hug that left knee towards our body. As we exhale and inhale, taking it away from our body, just coming in and out on your breath. We're going to go for 4 or 5 more breaths here. Noticing the stretch through the left side, through the left glute and the left ITB. Do 1 more breath and then place your right foot on the ground, leaving your left leg bent across. Take your left hand out to the side and slide your right hand to your knee and draw that right knee across to the right side while you gaze towards the left side. Nice stretch through the lower back, left side of your body. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Each time you exhale, surrendering a little more into the stretch. And bringing your mind back to the intention of our practice, opening up through our heart, opening up to change and nurturing through the energy of the new black moon. Inhale, bring your knees back to center. And then we're going to swap our legs over. So placing the left foot on the ground, bring the right leg across the front of the left knee. And we're going to hug that right knee up to our chest as we exhale. And inhale, taking your legs away from your body. Just coming in and out, stretching through the right glute and ITB. Just in and out. Focus on your breath. Go 1 more breath here. And then placing your left leg on the ground, left foot on the ground. Take your left hand on your right knee. Take your right hand straight out from your shoulders. You're going to use the left hand to draw the right knee across to the left side of the body as you take your gaze to the right hand. And allow your body to surrender into that twist. Taking 5 breaths here, and each exhalation, allowing your body to surrender a little more into the twist. Having your shoulders on the ground, feeling a stretch through the chest as well. Just coming back to your breath. And 2 more breaths here. And then coming back to center. Placing both feet on the ground and lifting up through the hips, having your hands face down on the mat, lifting up through the hips, walking your heels towards your buttocks, lifting the hips up and really squeezing through the glutes. Inhale as you bring your hands over the top. And exhale as you slowly lower your spine down to the mat and bring your hands back down beside you. And then inhale, lift up again. Take your hands over the top of your head to the mat behind your head. Just continue on for 3 more rounds. Exhale as you slowly lower your spine to the mat. And inhale as you lift up through the hips. High as you can, bring your chin to chest and bring your arms over the top. And 2 more rounds. And then rolling over onto your tummy. Placing your hands out in front of you. And we're going to bring the hands underneath our hips, lift our hips up a little, and we're going to inhale, lift it through our chest, and lift our feet up into a locust. Then exhale, coming down back to the mat, bringing your left ear down to the mat. And then inhale, lift and lengthen, lift up through the chest, lift the feet up. And then exhale, bringing the right ear down to the mat. And continue on, 1 more on each side. And then releasing your hands from underneath your chest, having your hands just underneath your shoulders. And we're going to inhale and lift up through the chest, opening up through that heart area. Let's stay here for 3 breaths. Feeling that stretch through the front of the abdominal muscles and the compression in your lower back. And then release that down to the mat. Bringing your hands behind you. So palms up, having your hands just near your hips. And this time we're going to inhale, we're going to lift up through the chest into snake pose. And exhale, folding down, bringing your forehead down to the mat. And inhale, come all the way back up again. Keeping your feet on the ground, but squeezing through the buttocks. And exhale, coming back down, forehead to the mat. And we'll go 1 more round. And then release. From here, we're going to go into a half boat pose. So we're going to bend our left knee and reach our left hand back towards the left foot. And we're going to inhale, lift our chest and stretching through the foot and the left thigh. Staying here for 2 breaths. And then release that left foot. And then bending up the right knee and reaching back with your right hand towards the foot. Inhale, lift and lengthen, lift through the chest and stretching out through the foot and the quad, staying for 2 breaths. And then release that back down to the mat and reaching over so you've got both feet now into a full boat pose. And we're going to inhale, lift our chest, stretching through our feet, coming up into full boat pose. Excellent, everybody's got this one, well done. Staying here for 3 breaths. And then release. We'll come up onto all fours. We'll do a couple of cat-cows to release our spine. Just take out any of the tension. Inhale, lift your chest. And then exhale, bring your spine up towards the ceiling. Just go for 4 more rounds at your own pace, your own breath. And then coming onto your back, laying on your back, hug your knees to your chest. You might need to do a little bit of movement just to release your back a little more. And from here, we're going to go into either legs up the wall or into a half shoulder stand, whichever you prefer. You might want to go into a supported shoulder stand where you can have a bolster just underneath your lower back. So inhaling and lifting up. If you're in the shoulder stand, holding your hips with your hands and drawing your elbows in together a little more. Just moving your feet around, having them nice and light, giving your legs a little shake. Just noticing the effects of the inversion, taking your legs out nice and wide. For a couple more breaths here. And then bringing the soles of your feet together and your knees out wide. Staying here for a couple of breaths. And then if you're in a half shoulder stand, you might like to take your feet and drop them over your head and reach forward with your hands to where your toes are. So stay here for another 5 breaths. Feeling that nice release through the spine. And then slowly as you exhale, allowing your legs to come back down, bring your spine down towards the ground and coming into a Savasana. So laying on your back in a comfortable position. You might like to bring a blanket over you to keep you nice and warm while you're relaxing your Yoga Nidra. If you have an eye pillow, you might like to put that on, getting yourself really comfortable. So resting in Savasana, take 3 deep relaxing breaths, relaxing your body. Be aware of the sounds in the distance, moving your awareness from sound to sound without attempting to identify the sound. Be aware of your physical body lying in Savasana. Be aware of your alignment, your chin lower than your forehead, your spine aligned, your arms close to your body, fingers away from the floor, as comfortable as possible. Become aware of your natural breath, keeping it completely spontaneous. Repeating your intention 3 times with feeling. Rotating your consciousness around your body, starting with your right hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake and move your attention to your left hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side trunk, left side trunk, left hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake and move your attention to the back of your body, your heels, back of your legs, buttocks, back, shoulder, arms, hands, your whole spine, neck, back of your head, crown of your head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, eyebrow center, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, right nostril, left nostril, lips, chin, throat, chest, 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 abdomen, 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 pelvis, pelvis, pelvis. Become aware of your breath, counting back from 17 to 0. Check your awareness that you're still awake. Awakening the feeling of warmth within your body. The whole body is warm. Your legs are warm. Your arms are warm. Your whole body is warm. Now awaken the feeling of coolness in the body. The body is cool. Your arms are cool. Your legs are cool. Bring your awareness to the front of your closed eyes. Imagine the following objects as they are named. A full moon, lighting a candle, the sun on our back, a sunrise, a sunset, a beautiful garden, a red rose, a clear blue sky, a rainbow, the smell of the rain, and the feeling of the wind on your face. Now is the time in your practice to repeat your intention 3 times. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel your body resting in Savasana, aware of the room that you're in and your surroundings, the floor beneath you, the ceiling, the walls, the windows, the sounds inside the room and the sounds outside the room. Recall the time of day and know that the practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to an end. I will chime the sound of the singing bowl. The practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. Stretching your arms above your head and slowly rolling to one side. You can stay here if you want, have a little bit more rest, or you can come to a seated position that's comfortable for you. Let's pay respect to the energies with an Om. You can join me if you want, but you don't have to. Taking a big breath in and releasing all that doesn't serve you anymore. Bring your hands up to Anjali Mudra. Big breath in. Om. Bringing the feeling of the heart opening with you for the rest of your day, thinking about the changes that may be coming into your life in different aspects of your life, and invite the positive, loving energies of change, of the new black moon. Thank you for being here today, raising your vibration and supporting each of us in our yoga practice and taking your energy back to your families and your community. Bringing our hands to our forehead for kind thoughts and to our lips for kind words and to our heart for a kind heart, and paying respect with Namaste. Namaste. Thank you for being here.
Oh, that was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I feel better, much better.